This is day 457 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor upcoming Shir Arukh HaShulchan Yomi or more, please contact me directly. Be very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Simon Kuf, Simon Shiv Aleph, of course, Sif Kuf Tez Vav. We're finishing Shinav today. Going to Shin Bey and Shin Beis Sif Aleph. Wow. Okay, it's been a while. Okay, so Shin Aleph Kuf Tez Vav. There are many other details. Such as a time would change it. Man, like their day and age choice of Kama's mining, there were several times Gezeros, decree Shul and Yacht Tefillin, not to put on Tefillin, Bechasam Boichlo, he covers them and goes. Even there's no danger, Rutsuos. You don't see any straps attached to the film. It's possible not feeling el cameos. They're perhaps amulets. Should be maybe not seeds, nasos, good source film, which in their day and age were made and formed film. Kanke low trollo say so somebody's not permitted to carry them. El misafik, on account of his doubt, mechason, he covers them up. Vaholech, and he leaves them. He leaves them alone. Mishabura says, in our day and age, it's not really frequently you find a kameh as tefillin. Therefore, you have to make sure to watch them and spend the time there until Shabbos is over, which is interesting. I'm not sure if Arukh would disagree with that. But going on, even their straps, which is indication that tefillin. If there are no knots in the straps, he can't wear them. So to make a knot of tefillin on Shabbos is a permanent knot for chayav chatas, which is an issa d'oraisa. Moshe's bars we should do as we explained, but have them in a place to safeguard it. But if you can make the knot, something like that tefillin as a slip knot, you have to do that. Mr. Bura says, if you can't make a slip knot, no, he disagrees. So you can't make a slip knot, because many posts can hold that a slip knot is possible for tefillin. So therefore, the tefillin would be a burden if you make it, make a knot which is not according to the mitzvah of tefillin. So that's a big machlekes here. Arukh HaShulchan says if the tefillin doesn't have a knot, that's ever going to happen. If the tefillin doesn't have a knot, you can make a slip knot and then take them in. And Mishnah holds no, you cannot. If there's a lot of tefillin, ofen sheyachnisam zug in a manner which you will bring them in pair by pair. I'm sorry. Yesh tefillin harbe oven sheyachnisam zug zug. It should be like sheim yachnisam zug zug. Lo yachnisam alav. There's somebody tefillin that if you put them on pair by pair, you're not going to get all of them until nightfall. Yachshich aleim alayla, so spend the time there until nightfall. And then bring it them. At least, if you're afraid to stay there because of bandits, so then malichem pachas me'ar amos. You go less than 4 amos until you get to a place where they can be safe kept. Oh, no, or you give them to a friend, your friend to a friend, a friend to a friend, until you reach the outer courtyard of the city. Machnisim, there are few of them, not so many pairs. Machnisim zug zug, you bring them in pair by pair, like I explained. Yachnisim derech levisha, and you bring them in as you're wearing them, until you bring all of them in. The bracket says there, don't bring out all the details, because this is something which is highly, highly imprevalent. Kuf design. Yesh b'shomer the isha sul yislat tefillin shemotza so b'derech Shabbos. Some people say a woman can't bring tefillin in when she found them on the road. V'avagat the b'dover shu mabush. Lechor have a mabush comes in, even though what's clothing for one is clothing for another. Avo pish ein b'darka yotzei, even though the latter person doesn't usually wear these things. Shiny noshim, women are different. They're ka'am b'fnei atzmim. They're a nation unto themselves. They don't have. They're not for the category of tefillin. Mr. Boras does not go. He doesn't determine which way to go in this. But in any event, according to this says Arukh HaShulchan, the isha she yotza tzishuk b'talos mitzuyes, as a woman goes out in the marketplace with talos mitzitzis chayeves chatos is liable to chatos al atzitzis she'em b'teim la'bega, which are not nullified to the garment. Much Gasav Nasif Kuf Ches. Shmuel says that this also is a subject of machlekes. Mikol Gam Davar Shemabush Gomer Leish, nevertheless, something which is completely a garment for the man. Yichol Gam Leisha Lot says both. In other words, not a vush mitam mitzvah, but it's a vush in itself, so she can go out. Rak with film tzitah she'em nichim lanoshim she'sa'um. But only at two instances we don't allow women to put them on. Af she'yertzu, even they want to. Oh, Bisman, I don't know if that applies. Therefore, that law is not like men. I believe that the Arukh HaShulchan's sister-in-law, the wife of the Netziv, his sister, the wife of the Netziv, did wear tzitzis. Okay, I'm not sure about that, but I think so. Anyway, they don't like men in this respect, as opposed to other garments. So Becca said, but this is definitely if they're going to, it's possible they're going to scoff her if she wears a garment like this. Asur love she's not to wear it. The Shem Yilagu made going to scoff at her. Tifshel so, and she's remove it. Tisani biyada and carry it with her hands. Okay, Kufi Zayin. Hamotzi Sefer Torah b'Svada. He found a Sefer Torah in the field. Yoshi Mishamra Machshir Galav Nodlabali. You sit there and you wait till nightfall and then you bring it into the city. B'Sakana Menicha Balechlo. If it's the time of danger, just leave it there. If rain was falling, station, the writing might become smeared. Wow. Allow him to wrap himself in the parchments as if they are as if they're clothing. And then he puts clothing on top of himself. And it was on top of the Sefer Torah, which is now wearing as a wrap around his body. When he goes in. The person can bring it down. Obviously, it was afraid to wait till nightfall. Malicha pachas pachas me'arba amos. You take it lesson for amos. Alita chaver. Give it to your friend. If that's a possible eitzah. Brackets. To give to his friend is ultimately pachas me'arba. In other words, the bucket brigade is better than taking 4 less farms yourself. The Arukh HaShulchan says, that's true about money. But if it's something which has to kedusha, it's better to, you yourself should carry it 4 less than 4 hours each time. Why? The bucket brigade is negating to the mitzvah of tefillin. So now that it's really about Sefer Torah and tefillin, do what he calls for him. I feel need passing. Any Sefer in those that are printed, you should not leave them in an embarrassing place. The one should have the same halacha. Although when he said print this phrase, he's not talking about photo offset. He's talking about when printing was real printing. So, question whether this man has said it also applies. Interesting question. Kuvi Yechesh. Mishnah. We learned in the Mishnah Nashu Caleb b'derech mayim. Somebody who nishru Caleb b'derech mayim. His clothing got soaked in water on the way. Klamashafu gadol b'mayim b'Shabbos. His clothing fell into the water on Shabbos. Malach ben, he can walk it with them. Ben Choshim Yeshach is not badly concerned. People are going to suspect that he washed them. And we're not concerned they're going to come to squeeze out the garments. Why? Even though it's very often more choshish for schita, but because Chachamim did not make him take off his garments because of this. The God will cover up because it's covered up brios isn't involved here. Shouldn't have to walk around without any clothing. Furthermore, we hope the lo chashin shem yisrael. We're not concerned maybe before it comes to squeeze. Kamoshi is brought, we shall explain. For lo yishtachem nagbon, you should not spread them out to dry. Minei maris ayin, because it looks bad. And I shouldn't be suspect you wash them on Shabbos. Even in the closed rooms where nobody else sees it, also. It's forbidden because of the way it looks. Even if it's an innermost room, it's forbidden. If the chashash, the issue is a potential issue d'oraisa. They only forbade to spread them on Shabbos. And spread them on Shabbos. And we shut Erev Shabbos. If you hung out laundry on Erev Shabbos, don't take them off the line on Shabbos. The main issue is when you spread them on Shabbos. Because then there is evidence to suspect them. They wash it today. They keep some yesterday. We washed them yesterday. We have hung them up from yesterday. They won't know that he got soaked on the road because they don't know about this. But most people, they don't make those assumptions. Kufya test. A person should not spray out his clothing on Shabbos. Even because they're wet because of perspiration, not because of rain. Those who say that Avka Shinishu Mayim are going to be soaked in water. But if a little bit of water fell on them, we can't spread them out. But it's very small amount of water, and people are not going to say that he actually washed them on Shabbos. The Lord Dam to say it's not like perspiration, which expands throughout the garment. If you almost give something, they'll say that he washed it. Mine water, but a little bit of water, spend a little bit of the garment. Lo Yachshadu, they won't be concerned. Sharei Royim, Mixaso, you eventually see part of it is dry. Okay, so according to this, it's not an absolute low plug. There are distinctions, right? It's a little bit of water, it would be okay to spread it. Kuf Chaf, regarding Mashushuim in water, which garments are soaked in water, also Nagvan, you can't dry them, Samuch Leish, in front of a fire, Mishum Labe, because you're bleaching them, in the process of drying them, because you're cooking the water. Okay, therefore, I feel B'Shviyam Muetas also, therefore, even to spread them for a short amount, even if they're soaked a small amount, you're not allowed to put them next to the fire. However, in a place where the furnace is, the fire is not hot enough to cause your hand to dart back, Leka Mishum Bishul is no problem of cooking, there's also a problem of bleaching. The locain b'chama namalitz. If that was not true, then it should be also even to walk in the sun in these garments. The b'shrim ruba b'lavach azim shumar sign. Because if we're talking about where it's heavily soaked, so anyway, also goes marasign. So that's not a topic of conversation here. The lamalan atam mishum lamin masha. Why we need to have a reason of whitening or cooking. Now, gam b'shria mu'eh meruba, but even if it's soaked very much, yesh nafkei b'din zeh. There is a difference here. If you heat them up when you're wearing them, that gets no marasign because people think you're just seeing them in those garments. But asur mitam but it's forbidden because of shema yavash, because it looks like bishul and because it looks like libun. Kuf chaf alef mistapik on the balon is the person can dry himself in a towel. For baggage mistapik balach sharoktzin, garment which you use in order to dry yourself off after you wash. A mevia be other you can take in your hand. V'lochashin and shema yavash. Now concerned might come to squeeze it. Why are we not concerned? There's a call rochtim mistapik. Every you wash is dries. But the osa stopping, we forbid using the towel. Lo yochal lechotzi won't wash. That's not possible. Even our day and age, regilim b'chitza b'Shabbos gankim mutter. Even our day and age, we're not ready, we're not accustomed to wash on Shabbos. It's also permissible. In other words, even though today in our day and age we're not regular to wash on Shabbos, it wasn't including the gzeira. They made no gzeira not to use towels, so it doesn't apply at any time. Avaloim shouldn't give the towel to a bathhouse attendant. Because they are suspect that they squeeze. The Ramah writes about clothing which is soaked in water, and now to dry them. Some next to the fire. He writes for us a tatlam. Can't even move them. Because it might come to squeezing. That's if you're concerned with the water. Fees are going to say which they sending by a towel. Granted, we allowed him to bring in his hand, places in eruv. And we're not concerned with squeezing. Because what we explained, nevertheless, once you brought it home, also you shouldn't be allowed to carry it all. Should be going to move on. Because then I'm not sure which reason is not shaykh then. Not sure what reason is not shaykh then. Come lo mashma kain. Nevertheless, it doesn't seem that way. Kedatam, you have reason seems came the tanu lo lavio, since we allow him to bring it. We can't make it also then to carry it. I guess that the reason why we allow him to take it home is because we're afraid it's going to get lost. I really don't know what the issue is. And then, but in any event, since there's no gzeira, even if it gets home, he's allowed to carry it, allowed to take him place to place. In other words, can't make it muktzah when he comes home. Also when soaked in water, then it is totally soaked. Then you're certainly makbid on the you're certainly makbid on the water. Mashiach Balon is supposed to tell Vada ain't no makbid. You're clearly not makbid. People use towels and they use them over again and over again. In the old days in the yeshiva, when they had these hanging rolling towels, possibly they have them many places today, use them even when they got extremely wet, you were still using them. It probably was extremely unhealthy, but we did anyway. You're not allowed to go on Shabbos place where you can slip, and fall in the water. Because then your clothing might get soaked. The other days, you're going to come to squeeze them. As you're going just for a shpatz here, have a walk. If that's where his road leads him, what can he do? Because he could have said the Mishnah and usually we're talking about soaking, clothing getting soaked. It's where you had had to go there with no alternative. Finally, simple sif memhei. Kuv chabeis. The mutar yichot yada benar b'Shabbos. You can wash your hands in a river on Shabbos. V'ashlo yotziyim ima mayim shaleim. As long as you don't take them out while water is still on your hands. Chutz l'nar arba amos. 4 amos be outside the river. Gam lo yidchov ha'mayim shemar chutz arba amos. Also, you shouldn't push the water along in the river more than 4 amos, because Hamayim Karmelis, the water is like a Karmelis, it's like a Rishus Ram Derabanan. But Zesh Chutz L'Nora Isser Adal Amos. Now, and that which we said outside the river shouldn't walk 4 amos with one hands. That's also Havigankin. It's also when Shechutz L'Nora, it's also Shechutz L'Nora Havigankin Karmelis. Thus, Einis Atalta Minar L'Chutz Lo, Pachas Mi'arba Amos. So then there's no is, since the river is a Karmelis and the river bank is Karmelis, no Isser of taking less than 4 amos. The Karmelis metalta. They from Karmelis to a Karmelis. Avol im chutzla nanor avi rishus harayim, but outside the river, it's just rabbi rishus yochi. Does not feel pakas me arba amos also. Then he less for amos forbidden muchrach lenagvan, and you have to dry your hands. While your hands are still over the river. And here he says chekosava mishnah brura. Things like the 35th time we've had the mishnah brura. Within Rochetz Benari is where I was him in Shinchavav, and we're going to have that in Shinchavav as well. Haven't had Mishnah Berurah in a long time. Kuf Chav Gimel, Balichat Platim. People who have psoriasis or some other skin ailment. Shesh Lem Makas Barosh, they have all sorts of wounds on their head. Osim Lem Soros Mi Pishtan Saruk, they make themselves hair from combed flax, combed linen, or mitzemer parts, or carded wool. Umutar says Ben B'Shabbos. And they'll have to go to Shabbos. That's some Havizet Kebega, by them it's a garment, kachir or jewelry, but it's not a burden. I have to bring them from before Shabbos starts. Lezesh lo yamuktzah, or designate them, or they shouldn't be muktzah. Ever need either do a ma'aser tzava, like you dyed them, the korchon, and bundled them, mibod yom l'kavan zu during the daytime for this purpose, or he went out with them 1 hour during the daytime. The Mishnah Berurah says that even if you think mibod yom to wear them, it's also mutter to carry them. And the Bir Halacha says also if you satin them. I'm assuming this is something which is therapeutic, because even though it sounds like a toupee, it sounds like it's something therapeutic. Let's say you also go out with a hat which is hangs on the neck Mishesh Lamaka Barosho, somebody has a wound on his head, or Bezro in his arm, Shkein Hayamin Hagam Azeh, that's what they used to do. Chen Without says with Smartun, can be also allowed to go out with rags wrapped on the hand, or headspot, or on the finger, Shesh Lamaka when he has a wound, that slow have a kamal bushmamish, by him it's like clothing, literally. Some people say he has to go out with it an hour before or during the daytime. And those who don't require that, that seems to be primary. But you still need designation. The locate havili muktzah, because otherwise it's muktzah, the rags are muktzah. A band-aid is not muktzah, it's designated for that purpose. Rak asmana b'maisa suchadezu, but you don't need asmana by a maisa. Just need asmana as opposed to what he said before. We argue, and it's arguing the Mishnah and said that the rags need achona with maisa. Here you don't need achona with maisa. Brackets. Habehetim sivkan lam heiv yoshen dvar shmo shoslech minolim im ha sporin shel spurs barzo. You can't wear shoes with spurs. Not even a cowboy. Like people who ride horses. That's only if there are sharp points on it. No sharp points. Just like a bow of metal. I guess mutzar. I guess it's because it's considered to be adornment and not actually purposeful for work. Siman Shin Beis, the Nico Vikipa Garment Shabbos, the halacha of cleaning and belt folding garments on Shabbos. Farina Bagmara says, Hamanara Talisa B'Shabbos, somebody who shakes out and talis on Shabbos, Chayav Chaltis, Label Chaltis. Lomar El Bechalte, so by new talis. I think low talis, say something, it's not a problem. Lomar El Buchman, I'll talk about black talis. If it's red or if it's white or red, lace lumbar, it's not a problem. Vuda Kabbalah, this is only if you're meticulous about it. So you need 3 requirements: black, new, and that you care about it. For Rashi and Pirish, menar mean offer. What does menar mean? You shake it out of dirt. There's only one which cleanses it, whitens it. Lataisim Shem Rakos with the low nirad kain. Rabbi Khan says doesn't seem that way. Shemina offer yeh libun, that shaking out of dirt. Should say libun. And menaron minatal shalov. You're shaking off the dew which rested upon them. The shot was that kibbutz libun. Then it's relevant to call it washing and bleaching.